Cool cats, cool dudes. It's your boy Lolo, and I can't remember the rest of his opening spiel. So how are you all doing? It's a Mr. Tom Takeover, which is otherwise code for Lolo's on assignment. And they've kindly asked me to basically go, can you helm the show? To which I was like, let me think about it. Actually, I replied like an hour later because I'm a prick like that. But in all seriousness, we've got Director John in the house.
Are you going to cheers with me? Or
I mean, we could pretend with the soda.
Okay.
Cheers.
And then let's bring this other knucklehead in. Caught you off guard. Caught you off guard. Cheers. Have a good show. All right, talk to you later.
Cheers.
It's the smell of victory. It's the smell of a yellow shirt.
I have to correct you. You said Lolo's on assignment?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I figured that was the polite, nice way to say it instead of going like Lolo's out having a bender or something. I don't know what he's actually doing. How you doing, David?
I'm very good, mate. I'm feeling very jubilant, and I'm enjoying the moment, shall we say?
So is that anything coincidence? You know, some things just line up. Is it to do with our football team scoring 14 goals without conceding one?
Yeah, indeed. 9 goals in a week. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Should have been 18, to be quite honest, but there you go.
It absolutely should. But obviously, you're just going to take the time to say hello to some of ours and John's friends in the chat. So
Yeah,
obviously, Anders at 8:02 p.m. in the UK time. How are you doing? Valentina, following not far behind, of course. How are you doing, Valentina? Lolo isn't here. My life is complete. The words of Director John. Anders is smiling. Then Scooby D2 turns up at 32 minutes past 10 p.m. UK time with, they gave you the 7-0. I think it's you should have the crown, chain and cigar this time. Those are a sequence of words. How you doing with Led Zepp? I wonder what he named them after. Or his YouTube username. I wonder what that's for. You know, Adolf. I'm joking. Even I know nothing about music, and I know that. No finger, no party. We got finger, baby. Got finger here. With John Garside. How you doing, sir? Obviously, evening to Scooby. Jimmy Bremner's ghost is in the house. That's how you know it's definitely Friday. And now they're all talking to each other. So, David. Rosie's back. How colour me surprised. And she's mentioning a certain scoreline. Is that a reference to how many goals we scored on? 7. I've had much worse Saturdays, David.
It was a good game on it. They just clicked. Everything clicked. Everybody looked like they were enjoying themselves. It was just great to be out on the green stuff, banging in the goals and everything. Yeah, it's good.
That was outrageous. How you doing, Deborah Zebra? We are flying, but I tend to get a bit chatty and then we end up flying too close to the sun. So I'm going to be very careful. It's a very Leeds thing for us to do, but we're looking good. We are looking good. David, right now, I'm going to put you on the spot, sir. Are we getting promoted?
Of course. Going up as champions.
I'm loving the confidence, and I'm loving it's not me putting myself on the spot to say it.
Listen, you know me, I've been certainly last year I was Fark's biggest critic, but this year you've not heard me moan once about the guy because he's doing everything pretty much as he should be doing. He's got the guys playing well. I love some of the movement. You know, they soak the ball up, soak it up, and then when suddenly they go on the break, they are literally, and it reminds me a little bit at times of Bielsa's football, where they are literally all in their position to receive the pass. They don't even look passable because they know where the player is going to be and everything. And that only comes through a lot of hard work on the training ground. And it's just, yeah, it's good. It's good to be watching it. It's good to enjoy the fact that we're actually scoring a few goals. Because sometimes, let's face it, the football was a bit boring and frustrating at times before.
I said on my own show on Sundays. What I simply said was, David, that result has been coming. We've been knocking on the door to actually give someone a bit of a whooping.
Yeah.
Like we beat Oxford 4-0, and with respect to Oxford, it was very flattering in terms of, like, you know, it could have been 7.
Yeah.
It wasn't, because our efficiency wasn't what it should be. It never is. And
well, it sort of went back to that against Coventry, didn't it? I mean, because that should have been another 7-0, quite frankly. But there you go.
I was impressed that we actually scored our first 2 proper shots, though. From what I was seeing at work, because I wasn't able to actually watch it live because I was at work. But I got the impression like we were, anytime we actually hit the target, we scored. And obviously, we now that we have a right back essentially named Bogle, where he's basically like just surging past defenders like he's not a defender, even though he
That
is.
was ridiculous, wasn't it? I mean, Fat Frank must have been pulling his hair out on the sideline watching that, because it was Moses going through the Red Sea, wasn't it? The waves parted and he just waltzed on through, and then their keeper did what one could only call a melee and literally put the ball on the end of his toe so that he could tap it in. But yeah, and of course Melier redeemed himself, which was an added bonus.
In fairness to him, good save. Great save, actually. Great save.
Yeah,
but I'll say the same thing I say every week. When I criticise him, I very rarely criticise him, but obviously there's certain things that happen. I may have said that. David, can you do me a favour and just say that we scored 7?
What have I got to say?
Just say that we scored 7, and then Monica appears.
Oh, yeah, of course we scored 7.
There you go.
Do you like
there
Monica? Monica was nice, wasn't she, back in the day?
She was a solid citizen, some would say. Not as solid as Rachel, but, you know, we all have different tastes.
No, I preferred Monica, you see, so yeah,
Oh,
it's good for me.
Fair enough. It's not worth falling out over, I'll say that.
No.
I'd pick a lot better things to fall over.
I like the crazy one, Phoebe.
I can imagine that, John.
Why am I not surprised? So, Friends fans out there, well done. You got an extra special bonus. Thank you to my fan club who have arrived, allegedly. Miss Melina said, I didn't pay her to say it.
So
I'm
what
not
else?
clever enough
What
to
else?
try and do that.
I mean, I think just the whole feeling in the camp, the whole club seems buoyant after that. I've watched a few other, channels on YouTube, Leeds channels, and everybody's, they're now, I'm not saying full of it, but very confident, where before they were waiting for us to drop points and things like that, and that little bit of a gap at the top, it's a nice little cushion to have, although, I mean, this month's massive for us. Well, who have we got next? We've got, apart from Millwall,
we go to Watford on Tuesday, I believe.
It's Watford, that's it. That's not going to be an easy game. And then, of course, we've got after that, is it Sheffield and then Sunderland, I think.
I could be wrong here, but I feel like we've got 2 Monday night footballs in a row. It's Sunderland, Sheffield, whatever order it is. But I feel like we end the month with Sheffield United, so it might be Sunderland before them.
Yeah, I think it probably is. Yeah, massive games. Sunderland's on the 17th. I know it's on the 17th.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at going to it and then I decided against it.
Yeah, so in all likelihood, we do end the month with Sheffield United. If we are still where we are after those 3 games, we are almost, I don't want to say almost certainly, but we'll be looking very good to stay there for the duration of the season. I don't think that's unfair to say either.
absolutely. And if not drawing against, because of course we could stay there with drawing, but if we can even just win one of those games, especially if it's against Sheffield United, then that'll just make the points gap a bit bigger. I mean, the interesting thing I think really now is who's going to join us in the automatic positions, because I mean, I don't know about Sheffield United. They've bought some players in that well, they have strengthened, but I don't know. I've watched Burnley a couple of times, and whilst they're only scoring the odd goal, they're not conceding. And I have to say they're good for their wins. I mean, they totally deserve their wins. So they deserve to be where they are. Sunderland, of course, they seem to play far more attractive football. But I'm just thinking, will they be a bit inconsistent to keep it up? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they've got in LUFC, who's far too good for this level.
I think
So
it's
it's going to be interesting.
I think it'll stay as it is.
Yeah.
At most, you'll get Sheffield United swap with Burnley, but again, even then, that'll be tight.
Yeah. I mean, all we've got to do is just look after ourselves, isn't it?
Exactly. If we win it's a cliche, of course. So if you win our own games, it doesn't matter what they will do. But it's still it'll be a lot funnier if they actually do then get into a bit of a dogfight with each other. Because
I can see it though. I mean, it's where the pressure starts, isn't it? And I don't know if they've got to play each other again. I don't know what. I think Burnley and Sheffield United have played. I think Burnley and Sheffield United have played each other twice. But I don't know about Sunderland.
I'm sure Sunderland will end up going to play one of them or something like that. But I want to give Sunderland a right good hiding simply because they robbed Firpo of his winning goal.
Yeah.
And I know really our goalkeeper robbed Firpo of his winning goal, but he's our mate at the moment, so let's not do that to him.
I didn't blame him at the time for that. I'm not going to blame him now. It was just one of those freak occurrences where on other occasions he was blameworthy, but on that occasion it was just a freak.
That can happen to any goalkeeper. It doesn't happen to any goalkeeper. It happens to a Leeds goalkeeper, but it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, it has happened to other keepers as well, hasn't it? I remember, was it Tim Flowers who was the Blackburn goalkeeper back in the day when they won the Premier? And the same thing happened to him.
They bounced over him,
hit a divot, didn't, and literally went over his arms into the net. So these things do happen.
They still won that. I remember it vividly. That happened when they were 3-1 up and they won 3-2. So it's one of them. Oh, how did that happen? All right, let's get ball back on the halfway line and blow the whistle and end the game, ref. See you later.
Tell you what was we've had a bit of a chat with my mates and everything, and that was you're talking about Firpo having goals, if you like, a winning goal stolen from him, because of the draw against Sunderland. He did get robbed again, didn't he?
And
but
I've got a bit of a mini slideshow on Sunday where basically all the Leeds fans have blamed Willie Friedman for it, but he's not offside.
Right, I want to come on to that. He is
so it's
offside.
Not his fault.
He is offside.
He's onside.
He's not. He's offside.
No, he's not. I know he's not. That's why I was surprised because I thought he was going to say he was offside. I was going to ask you to explain how, because when the shot is made, he is not in an offside position.
That's right.
Then when the ball actually goes level with the goalkeeper, he again is not in an offside position.
Yes, he is.
And then it hits him.
No, he is just ahead of the defender. I think that's what it was. And the goalkeeper gets a hand to it. And because he's in an offside position, when a save has been made from the goalkeeper, he's gained an advantage from being in that offside position. Therefore, he's offside, according to Rule 11 of the offside law.
Okay. So
I've looked
thank
into
you
it
to
because I
offside
was like,
rules.
I was having this discussion with some friends of mine, and I'm like, no, I'm sure it's offside. You know, it's ever so complicated, the offside rule now. So had it rebounded off bar or hit a defender inadvertently and rebounded to him and then he's an offside position, it's offside. Where it
In
never
that
used to be
moment,
years
though,
ago.
but in the moment it
Where
happened, David, he does. I'm guessing it's because he looks offside, but he's not.
well, I actually saw a clip of film that was from the side. It was pretty much level,
Yeah,
and
the
he does
10-minute
actually
highlight
look.
video.
He looks literally a foot. Well, you know, when I'm talking about a foot on the end of your leg.
Don't get me wrong.
That
I'll be very
I don't
open
know.
about this. If Jaden Bogor took that shot and that happened, I wouldn't think of it twice. But because it was my boy Junior Firpo, I feel
Absolutely,
cheated. My
yeah.
boy cheated multiple times over in this situation.
Well,
What
you and I together, aren't we? I mean, we're both Furpo lovers, you know. So
Yeah,
it's just
why
not
is
fair.
anything wrong with
And
that?
his reaction, I don't know. Did you catch his reaction? He
Well,
wasn't happy.
I,
He was
I think
fuming.
he blamed Nonto for it, to my
He
understanding.
did. He did. He did. And the only reason it didn't kick off a little bit was because Ampadu got up there quick to them and pulled them in together, because you could see that Firpo wasn't impressed. You know, he was almost ready to storm off the pitch like he did after the Sunderland game, I think.
Well, because he's been fucked over multiple times.
Again,
Yeah, but
hey ho.
I just want
At the end of
to
the
say
day, it was
hello to
immaterial.
BX Gunner.
There he is.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Hello to BX Gunner. Everyone else. Who else came in? Did I say hello to Miss Molina? Apologies if I did not. But hello to everyone else who is teaming in. But still, so how do you feeling about tomorrow's game in the FA Cup, David?
You know what? Things have been going so well, and it's suddenly like, is this going to be the game where suddenly he changes the team around because obviously it's the FA Cup, give some players a little bit of a rest, blah blah blah. Is this suddenly where we mess up and make ourselves look stupid and get dumped out the cup at home by Mill?
I generally just feel like it's one of these games where if we do go out, I'm not talking defeatist here. I'm talking realistic in the fact if we do lose tomorrow, because it's obviously on the day, it will in the moment I'll be really annoyed. But then 10 seconds after the whistle, I'll be like, okay, so we're not playing any more cup games this season. Let's get on with our actual job. The reason we're actually supporting the club.
I get
this
that.
weekend.
I get that, but I'm torn. I'm torn
It comes
between.
back round again because I think the reason we're playing so well is because we're winning games and
Yeah,
winning
of
them
course.
handsomely. If that stops, I worry that will it continue to stop.
You just want to keep on winning every game.
Yeah. Even David, if we then end up in getting a draw like away at Man City or whatever, and then get absolutely turned over, but we've already rode the momentum to results against Sunderland and Sheffield United, fine.
Yeah.
Rightly or wrongly,
I'll
that's
go
how
with
I
that.
see that.
I'll go with that. Absolutely. I mean,
I
the thing is,
don't want a result that leads to a bad bout of confidence before the important games.
Yeah.
They're all important, but
Yeah,
these are
that's
more
why it's
important
good
than
to
not
keep
enough.
the winning momentum up. Absolutely.
Hello,
And I
Gary.
also look at Sheffield United when they got promoted a few years back, and was it the year before last when they had the run in the FA Cup? They did really well, and they got promoted at the same time. So why not? You know, I think they get to the semi-final, didn't they?
That
I
sounds
think
right.
they did.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So So why not?
I mean, we're never going to win the FA Cup under a new format. Like,
Maybe we will.
Because they have the semi-final at Wembley. Our record at Wembley means we probably ain't getting to that final because we already have to go there to play the semi-final. So it's not even entered my mind as a thing.
Maybe I'm just feeling so confident. I think it's the year that we do the double. Yeah, I'll throw that out there. I know I'm being silly now, but hey ho.
Well, I would argue that although we scored, was it 3 goals against Cardiff earlier in the season, but then we had a 10-0 aggregate win over Cardiff over the course of the season, which would mean that we scored 7 goals on Saturday.
We did score 7 on Saturday, didn't we?
We did score 7 on Saturday. We scored 7.
Yeah, I know some people left when it was 6, which is always a silly thing to do. Don't ever leave before the final whistle.
Maths is a wonderful thing. StreamYard's great as well because when you have your own director, you can say things like a number after 6 but before 8, and then it just magically appears.
That'd be 7.
Of course. Well, and our Furpo as well. Got the best director in the business. Best in the business. I won't have a bad word said about the director of the Stoop.
He's the best director on YouTube, that's for sure.
Best director on YouTube. Best director on YouTube. My favourite thing is during Gary's show on the trip when the secret director, sorry, I added his name, just randomly sends stuff in. And it's like, we can certainly put that up for the secret director. It's a bit like the Secret Millionaire.
Yeah, but I don't know if Gary likes that. But he has no choice in the matter.
Gary's a character. I'll say that much. And
it's called a fait accompli.
Hello, Richard Cranium. How are you doing, sir? Rosie, why are you out in his secret name?
Oh,
very upsetting. She would out Santa to a bunch of kids. Just unkind, just purely unkind. But good to hear that, sir. So, what do you realistically, what are you expecting for tomorrow, team-wise?
I don't think he'll make changes, but I still think he's going to play Ampadu and whatnot because he always does. Maybe Strout back. I can't see him changing the back line too much. Byron maybe come in, or though, is it the right thing to do? I don't know. Furpo's, it's only his 3rd real game back, isn't it? I mean, he came on as sub, I think it was, and then he played the last game, and so he's probably not quite up to fitness yet. So I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think there'll be changes up top. I don't know if Joseph will get a start, but I think he'll get more time. And I certainly think there'll be maybe Solomon will get rested or something like that. Rothwell will be back, but hey ho.
I think Ian's making a point here. He's basically doing he's doing a very Tom-like thing here. Basically, he wants to say hello to Ian, so he's saying hello to himself. So I'm going to do it for him. Hello, Ian. How are you doing, sir? It's totally something I would do. Gary's going 20 minutes. He'll be logging off for the weekend. Are you coming on here tonight, Gary?
We've got something very important to discuss later, I feel.
I want answers. And I can't wait till tomorrow on the trip to get these answers. They're seriously important. I want to say hello to Jazz Beer Baines. How you doing, sir? A Leeds fan from Birmingham.
Huh. It's all very well cheering, being super jubilant because you've beaten the champions. But then if you go and totally mess it up in your next game, and you still don't look like you're going to be champions this year, then I think it's called choking. But there you go. I mean, we need answers.
I wouldn't go that far because I still like to maintain my friendships with the Arsenal community. But You're your own man. You're entitled to your opinion, sir. And we give people their opinion here on the Stoop. I was about to say on the road trip. I'm hosting so many shows, I forget which one I'm on. Sorry, Lolo. He's gonna be pissed when he goes back. He said he called my show what? I've said worse in all truth. North London doesn't like trophies, called in the Richard Cranium. It's in 1969, Jasmine. Impressive. I weren't even in my father's testicles at that point. That's not how science works.
That's not a good thought.
I can make it worse, but I won't, because I've got too much respect for John forgetting where I am. I totally did. But, right, so
for the final, we've got, for the League Cup final, Carabao, who's it? Liverpool and Newcastle. What do you reckon?
Which is, I think Liverpool are going to win this in a routine manner.
I think Liverpool could sweep up everything this year the way they're playing.
Unfortunately,
you know? I never used to. Yeah, I used to hate them, but then what I found out this year is actually no, it was just my hatred of Klopp. It's not so much Liverpool. I actually quite like watching them now. But so it was my hatred of Klopp as opposed to the club itself.
That makes sense, because a couple of days ago, I on a channel, for argument's sake, we'll say Mr. Arsenal podcast, I may have typed out the words "I hate Coventry City," when really I don't hate Coventry City. I do not like their head coach.
Fair enough.
But before that, obviously, I'm like, I hate Coventry. I want to beat Coventry City. Coventry City need to go fuck themselves. Kind of thing.
So, apart from the fact it's Fat Frank,
yeah.
What do you reckon to the banter after the game? Do you think that's a little bit? Are the Leeds fans being a bit overly sensitive about that?
Yes,
they give it out, 100%. But they don't. They can't take it.
Yes, 100%.
Or is it just TV having captured it, making a point of it as well? I don't know.
Probably a bit. It's probably a bit of both. In all truth, a bit of both. But when I see Leeds fans getting outraged because of something Frank Lampard did to us, when you've been calling him a wanker for the last hour and a half, why are you upset that he's actually acknowledged it, or whatever he did?
And the thing is, it's just banter. I'm sure he probably doesn't like Leeds. I don't know. Does it really matter at the end of the day?
I do remember that, Robbie. How you doing? Good to see you. That's true, Sam. That's true. My master plan was in full effect. It's finally happened.
Tell you what, Robbie's got a point there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
About being linked to slot and everything. Remember the absolute dogs abuse he got at that time from Leeds fans I'd never heard of him, but other Leeds fans absolutely slaughtered him. We don't want him. Who's he? Who's this guy? And all that. Just goes to show.
Want Areola either, because I think what we're learning here is a lot of Leeds fans don't actually know football.
Exactly.
And I can't believe Tom's sitting on YouTube saying Leeds fans don't know football. But you turned your nose up at someone that's got Bournemouth actually battering teams, and you turned your nose up at someone that's currently top of the English Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm not saying people have to have the true foresight, but just because you've never heard of someone doesn't mean they're crap, and this somewhat proves it. Although I've never heard of Amorim either, and obviously I've not really.
Unless you're following continental football, you don't hear of these managers.
Have a good night, Richard Cranium. How you doing? No, I don't know why I said how you doing. Have a good night. Sorry, I'm in host mode. Sorry, David. Please repeat that.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Scooby. It's a backhanded compliment. Absolutely.
Did someone in Derby County set up actually take a shit in the shower at Ellen Road? Is that actually a thing?
I don't know.
That's what I've heard. That part of the Spygate, not Spygate, the playoff semi-final was that someone at Derby basically made a mess of our away changing room. It's like, why are you getting upset? You don't have to change in it. It's the away changing room. But no, seriously.
What was the Gus Poyet? Gus Poyet. He was meant to have done that down at Brighton, I think it was.
Didn't what was that? Was that what led to him getting sacked while he was on air at the BBC?
Or was he the manager at Brighton? I can't remember now.
He was definitely the manager of Brighton, because during the FA Cup game where he was doing the punditry, he was then informed that he'd been placed on gardening leave.
Yeah, I think, was it maybe they had played Palace and he did a shit in their room or something? It's one of those games, some sort of game like that, and he had done a shit in the changing room or something like that. I can't remember the ins and outs, but pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not actually defending them doing it, to be clear. It's more a case of like, no one really knows what happened there.
No, apart from the ones who were there.
Someone said it on Twitter and it's become true.
Oh, I did hear there was a guy, I can't think of his name, who was a Brighton player, and I think he'd gone over to Havant and was playing at Havant, having dropped out of the professional game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was known, a mate of mine knew him, and he touched on the subject and that there was truth in it, but I can't remember all the ins and outs. A long time ago. So yeah, these things do go on.
Just quickly want to say hello to Sam Greenwood, of course. Good to see you, because I've sort of lost my way with doing that and start, because I made Ian upset. Ian's the last person I want to make upset.
I can't see him too well. I have to say, I haven't got it on my phone. I've got the big TV behind me, but to be honest, I've not got my glasses on, so I can't see that far.
Big Scunner, where's your boy Haji Wright? Because he was supposed to tear us to shreds on Wednesday night, and he wasn't even there. And Sims was useless. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, Coventry aren't a bad side. They're
really not a bad side.
They came into that having done quite well. I think they hadn't lost for 4 games or something like that. They're on a bit of a winning run, weren't they?
I believe they had won. I think they lost their first game under Frank and then won the next 4. I think they lost 1, drew 1, then won 4, something like that. I could be wrong, but I'm not actually bothered enough to actually stake my reputation on it, or not stake my reputation on it. But
I think that's right, though. I seem to remember that in having seen the form guide. But I mean, where are they? Mid-table.
They're 11th.
Yeah,
considering they sacked their manager because I think they were just outside the bottom 3.
They were sacked Robbins, didn't they? But when he first went there, we were all like, "Oh, here we go," But he's doing a job there. It's it's sort of those sort of players who take the jobs in the Championship, who were very, very good players in the day. I always have a little bit of admiration for them. The fact that they're actually, willing to put themselves down there and learn the job properly, and test themselves. So we'll see. We'll see how they get on. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Before I went to the cinema today, I'd randomly, random things pop up on your YouTube, like I don't even know how it got there. I don't know how Sky Blue TV turned up on my YouTube homepage. I don't know what I clicked or whatever in the past to have made that appear, but then I turned it on. And so if I was to say, I watched it it was 2 hours long. Watched it for about an hour and then it went out. But they were very nice about us. I mean, What else could they say?
Yeah.
All their comments, all the comments were basically all very similar variations on the same thing of basically one guy it was like he needed Columbo to work out mystery. He was like, how is it that every single Leeds player is a yard faster than our player? I can answer that. It's called spending money.
Yeah, and probably being absolutely mullered in training as well, getting people up to speed and everything. When people are made to go that extra yard, put that extra bit into training, it's amazing how you can get an extra yard or two of speed. I tell you what,
Have a good night, Gary. Stay safe.
the one who's tearing it up, although he was shocking with his shooting the other night, Dan James. Jesus, he doesn't stop, does he?
That shot where he was put through, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, go around the goalkeeper, put it over the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in this situation almost certainly results in a goal, as long as you get it on target. And he just kicked it straight at the keeper. I was like,
Yeah, he literally passed it to him, didn't he?
But yeah, passed it. Like you could tell by the way he's hit it, you could tell he's trying to actually loft it over him very cleverly, but he just didn't get the connection on it at all.
Yeah.
And it's the sort of thing where you have to be very lucky you go on to win that game.
Yeah, I think after that as well, I think that got to him and he just wanted to score, and he was taking shots, but he was hitting the side netting or he was blazing over us. It just wasn't his night.
They were all guilty of it though. But
Yeah.
to be fair, Daniel James is the one that sticks out, of course, because it was bad. We didn't go on to win that game, he would have got abuse on Twitter. I can tell you that for free.
Apparently, he and Nonto take the most shots outside the box.
I'm not surprised.
But yeah, all good stuff. I tell you what I did want to mention. I don't know if you listen. You watch the Square Ball sometimes, don't you?
Well, I've got to catch up with like the last one they've done, but
okay, so you need to watch the propaganda.
I've listened to that.
Yeah, have you listened to it this week's after the Cardiff game?
Yeah, because it's mainly about the boy, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the game where we won. How many goals was it?
It was a number below 8, but I think it was above 5.9.
Yeah, it was above 6, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, 6.9. Sorry, I've totally got the maths wrong.
There you go.
But
7 heaven.
7. 2.
I'm trying to do other things and I hear these words and I got to fucking run back to my computer.
I think we need footage of actually John hearing the word 7 and then making it mad dash for the computer to go, oh, I've got to press the thing again. Go press the thing. Go press the thing.
That propaganda, the Cardiff lad. I mean, the Leeds Football Club, they really gave him a guided tour of the changing rooms and the trophy cabinet, and I think he went up to the boardroom. He had a whole tour around, didn't he, before the game? You know.
Oh, I'd like to answer Deborah Zebra's comment. One where she is it's after Sam Greenwood's comment where he's saying hello to Rosie. Very polite of him, of course. But she has asked, do you really want to get promoted and then watch a year of misery again? Well, I don't really have a choice in it, because if we don't get promoted, we don't then get another crack at getting promoted because of the nature of football. Because anyone that is half decent this season will be sold to compensate for the fact that we will no longer receive Premier League money to pay their wages. We get a third year of money, but it's significantly less. So we'd still need to sell players to offset it.
Yeah, we'd lose a lot of players.
And your buying power is immediately killed. So it's not it's not as simple as basically our Leeds can have another crack next year.
Yeah.
I mean, we will have to have another crack next year, because you can't go into a year going, well, we ain't going to try and get promoted. But it's significantly more difficult. It's actually, people mock Norwich for this and Fulham and all this, but it's easier to get promoted when you have actually had £200 million worth of Premier League money the year before. And then you go back down, rather than just always being in the Championship. That's why Norwich and those teams always end up at the top of the Championship.
Yeah. Although Norwich, you just look at Norwich where they are this year. Really, they're not going to get promoted. No chance.
No. But they've had a couple of years where it was obviously they were the front runners and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, David, If you wouldn't mind just going back to the top of the table, please, Director John.
There you go.
Because Norwich are actually 2 points off of it, so they could well be in the Premier League next year, despite the fact that we basically beat them off the park the other week.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what? I look at the other team. I look at the top 4 teams, and it's going to be 3 out of that 4.
I don't think they will, David. I don't
3 out
think
of
they
that 4.
will, but they can.
It's like there's a gulf between the. I mean, Sunderland, if you like, are doing. It's almost like they're doing better than they should be doing.
Yeah.
They've got a team of youngsters. You think it'd maybe take a season, and then maybe next year they'd be on a little bit of a push. But no, they're like a year ahead. But then you look at the top 4 teams, and then you look at the rest, and there's a gulf of difference in class. And next year, I don't want to be in this division next year when you've got the 3 teams that are at the bottom at the moment who are likely to be dropping down, or if not Leicester, maybe Wolves. I look at the Premier, and those. I just think that's down to the bottom 4 teams. Who's 3 out of that bottom 4? Because I don't think Everton will go down. I don't think. I think they've got good enough, and West Ham won't go down.
To say that.
Yeah, but I can see the 3 that as it is at the moment. They're going up and down. The only thing with that is that maybe if Leicester go down, they'll get absolutely spanked by the EFL.
I've got one question to ask you, David.
But first,
I'm going to say hello. Sorry, sir. I believe the cleaners came in a bit early. Sorry, how you doing, sir?
Hello.
How you doing, Stan?
Oh, Dave. All right, Mr. Tom. How are we?
I am not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's Friday. It's my favourite day of the week.
Favourite day of the week. Well, let me ask you a simple question, and very simple. What do you think the relegation number is going to be this year? Like, what is the survival pointage? Like, I personally think it's going to be 30.
I just agree with you. I don't really know, so I agree with you. 30 sounds good. It's a good number.
It's going to be low, isn't it?
Your audio is a bit. It's not like it usually is, sir.
Is it loud or quiet?
Quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit. It's almost like you're a bit muffled.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's still. I don't like you a little bit muffled.
Is that better?
A bit like you're underwater a bit.
Okay. I've just had to change my sound.
It's perfect because we can't hear his Arsenal talk.
I can't hear you at all now, Stan.
How's that?
Back to how it was.
But loud enough that I can hear you.
All right, let me leave and join again. I've had a problem with my setup, so I'll leave it.
It improved.
Are we good?
Better,
John,
yeah.
John, are we good? You're the audio man, the tech expert. I'm just the bum they have hosting it.
John's off doing something again. Oh, he's rushed back.
Jump off and come back in. Let's see what happens. It's like your audio is clipping.
Oh, I didn't know the technical term for it, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
it was David,
it was definitely clipping, Tom. Definitely clipping.
It was such clippage. I've never seen that in my life.
Now,
I've never seen it as brutal as that. David, what do you think the survival rate is going to be? Or the point, whatever the term is, the magic number for survival.
31, 32. 31 will be the team in 3rd place who goes down. That's what I reckon. So anything above 31.
I don't think people may or may not have realised the real reason isn't really the standard of the championship has decreased or something like that. It's because Newcastle now have cash. So they are not at the bottom anymore, where they would be. naturally. So
When you look
because
at that division, I mean, when you look at the Premier, apart from the top few couple of clubs up the top, it's real teams all over the place. I mean, okay, Spurs have lost loads of players, so they're having a real hard time of it this season. Scum are down there, and they were lucky tonight to get past Leicester. It's a real mishmash, isn't it? It's good to see. I like it, but it's all been a bit changed around this year. Just go to the top again, will you, John? Please.
Is that better, guys?
Hey,
Yes.
yeah, better. We can hear you now, anyway.
Okay, good.
That's better.
Well,
Yeah, looking
apparently
at that.
Rosie could hear Stan before Stan even said anything. It's impressive, Rosie, the foresight. Genuinely impressive. But so Stan,
Yes,
I
sir.
suppose we should ask you about, as the sole Arsenal representative, I'm going to hold you solely responsible for losing in the... Losing's a harsh word. Very harsh word. Having a setback in your Carabao Cup run.
No, that wasn't a setback. We lost. Big time.
Well, I'm glad you said it, because I didn't want to be the one to actually say it.
Terrible.
I don't like upsetting people, or potentially upsetting people. But any thoughts on it, Stan?
Yeah, it was a very big letdown. Two legs, not able to score any goals at home or away. You know, it's terrible. But I'm kind of, if I want anybody else to win, it would be Newcastle, obviously with the family ties that I have connected to the club. So I'll take that, and as long as they can get the job done and dump Liverpool, I'd be semi-happy.
Fair enough.
David, do you have any thoughts on that? Even though I know you're, as a Leeds man, I know what you're likely to say to this. But
Go easy, Dave.
What about Arsenal getting dumped out of the cup?
Big time dumped, yeah. We were dumped.
I said it a long time ago this season, is that the Arsenal this year, they started off really well. They were scoring goals. Havertz was scoring, wasn't he? And I don't know if it was yourself, Stan, but a couple of the other Arsenal supporters on here were lauding him, and I was like, he's crap. He's scoring a few goals now, but he won't. He'll stop, and he has done. And it's almost like they were relying on him too much. You badly need a goal scorer.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I think everybody recognises that, apart from our board. As much as the hard work that Havertz does in other parts of the game, he's not able to put the ball in the back of the net as frequent as you need. And now that we've got nobody else to fall back on, he plays all of the minutes. He's either going to get injured or burned out, which is going to affect his form, which is just going to get more on his back. And if he does get injured, then we'll have to find a stopgap, which is not going to be good enough for a team that is supposed to be trying to challenge. So very disappointed, obviously, with the transfer window and not being able to bring any reinforcements in, and just hearing the same old story. Next season we're going to do this. Next season we're going to do that. I'm more concerned about this season, to be honest. This is the here and now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the trouble is, though, with them, isn't it? I mean, you look round and it's almost like there's a bit of a trend over the last few seasons maybe, where teams don't play with a striker as such. They're playing with this false nine and all this sort of thing. And all of a sudden, when those other players aren't scoring and you haven't got strikers, and it's real hard to actually get a striker these days because there aren't that many about.
And if you look at Man United, I mean, I can't remember what the match was recently. They had both of their newest acquisitions in Xerxes and Højlund on the bench. So, it's
again, the Holland guy, he hasn't been scoring, has he? I mean, he started off well, and then I'm not saying he's got found out, but suddenly it becomes a bit tougher and everything. So I don't know. It's the same as, I mean, the surprise this season has got to be Chris Wood at Forest.
But just to follow what you're saying there, Dave, you could also look at Chelsea and look at and Conquer as well. Another sort of that was a striker they spent a lot of money on, and that's not really working out either. So it seems that the only striker, obviously, Wood you mentioned, but also the one that seems to be doing really well is Isaac
and Woods.
Yeah,
Isaac and Wood. Yeah.
I imagine Chris Wood is not the sort of player that Arsenal are going to be in for in the summer, but he will have a fruitful Premier League career until he decides not to, for one very simple reason, lads, and I'll say this every Friday night. Chris Wood will never go out of fashion, because big lads never go out of fashion in football. Ever.
Yeah.
No matter how slow he gets, even if he loses a yard from what he's already got on him, he is a big lad, and a team that is fighting relegation will always stick him up front in the last minute. Always.
The thing is, he can finish, Tom.
He can.
He knows where the goal is, so he doesn't have to do all that running to close down. It must be a nightmare to mark, because as you say, he's a big, strong lad and whatnot. And if you're a defender, you're going to have your hands full that day. But yeah, the guy knows where the goal is. He's taken. It seems to be whenever he gets a chance, he finishes. So yeah, good luck to Forest anyway.
Take him in a heartbeat, David. I mean, he's doing his job right, and he knows the league. I will take him in a heartbeat. He might not be fashionable, but that's not what I care about. I care about the job that they're able to do, and he's doing the job.
You know who I'd liken him to, Stan? Hartson. When you had Hartson at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Not fashionable, but he did a job, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thought. Like John Hartson, even when he didn't have a great goal-scoring record, because he was John Hartson and you knew what you were getting, teams were back. Wimbledon basically were like, this will probably foul, but we're going to take a chance on this man. And it did foul. But they didn't lose a lot of money on him, because they paid him. They basically paid him a wage more based on how many he scored. He got a massive goal bonus. I remember this very specifically, because it was a transfer where it was like, if he scores 20 goals for Wimbledon, he will make more money than he'd make scoring 20 goals for Arsenal.
Right.
Because that was the nature of like how they structured it. Because he was winding down a little bit is why they did this. It didn't work out. He didn't really score that many for him. So Wimbledon actually saved a bit of money. I want to say hello to Spawny Mark, who was sneaked in there with a story about the bartender. A bartender asked me who I wanted to win on Sunday. I said Wolves. She called me retarded. I said, well, I am a Wolves fan.
I should have got you a free pint.
Yeah, you should have complained, Mark. Complained. But
Don't be
my heart story. So, yeah. So Arsenal have got a week off. I hear they're heading to Dubai.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't do that. I'd let them play in England in the cold, and they can wear their gloves and snoods. They don't really, they don't deserve to be going off to Dubai. Personally, from my opinion, they've not earned that.
I agree. I know there's all this this talk and like when you go there, it helps you training because of warm weather and stuff. But you're not training to play football matches in warm weather. So I'm not saying like I know anything, but you're still coming back to play the matches in fucking England, pardon my language. So training in Dubai is just a lovely holiday for these players while they're being paid for it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good
in the evenings as well.
Sorry, Stan?
After some salt bay in the evenings and all of that,
Of course. Who can forget Sport Bay? What's his name? Salt Bay. Sorry, I was going to call him Sport Bay. That's not his name.
Billy.
Yeah, but just
so all the jubilation after City, Stan. I mean, that was a cracking game.
I wanted to mention something about that. I wanted to know what your guys' take are. How our young player Miles Lewis Skelly is all of a sudden being the pantomime villain. We have people like Jason Cundy saying that he should have his legs snapped, like Haaland's father was, for doing for doing, the Haaland celebration. My take on it is, if you look at the previous fixture, you've got Haaland running around like a complete, absolute nutter, getting the ball out of the back of the net and throwing it on the back of Gabriel.
That was brilliant.
Nothing
That was brilliant. That was so funny.
Nothing gets said about it. And at the end of the game, he's having a tear up with Mikel Arteta. And you remember, he said to Skelly, quite patronisingly, "Who are you?"
Well, that's because Skelly went up to him, though, didn't he? Skelly went up to him and started giving it a bit. I have to say, Lewis Skelly, I think he's a bit arrogant, and I have a feeling maybe, I've picked up on that a few times.
I mean, just for doing Haaland's celebration. I mean, when
no, I'm not talking about that.
Funny.
Forget that.
It's very funny, but
it
still feels very. So I don't mean to cut you off, David. I've just got one thing to say on it.
Yeah.
It feels very 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and depending on your point of view on it, like I imagine Stan's have a different view on it to a Manchester City fan talking about the same thing, but. Ultimately,
let me give you my thing. Nothing to do with the goal celebration. Don't give a monkeys about that whatsoever. But as I say, the first game, he'd gone up to Haaland and he was, I don't know what he was saying, but something was being said. And that's why Haaland was like, who are you, sort of thing. But apart from that, he's then gone and in a few other games, because he's a good player. First of all, I want to get that out of the way. He's a good player. Good prospect, but he's got a nasty side to him. He's got an arrogant, nasty side to him, and he likes to put himself about a bit. And he's only been about for 5 minutes. And if it was back in the day, he'd get sorted. These days, I don't think he will get sorted because it gets the other player into trouble. But I think he's got an arrogance that isn't nice, and he'll try it on too much. And I think he's a little bit Billy Big Bollocks at the moment. So maybe he needs taking down a peg or two. Although maybe that would affect him. Maybe that's just who he is,
See, this is you make the point that I was going to piggyback off on what you're saying, David. He's a young man. He's played 6 or 7 games in the Premier League. He's forging his way. He got involved with Haaland because Haaland decided he wanted to get involved with the manager and a few other players. And obviously, he's going to come in and back up his teammates. I think that we should be talking about these kind of things like the celebration. I'd rather talk about the rivalry than referees. And, Jamie Vardy's been doing it his whole career.
Got no problem with it.
Neil Maupay is another one who does the same sort of shithousery. But all of a sudden, when it's this young lad that's done it, people are saying that he's arrogant, which I don't believe. A lot of people around the club say that he's got a good personality. I don't mind that he's got character. I mean, Ian Wright had a lot of character about him, and I think if Ian Wright was playing in the era with social media, they'd be trying to take him down a peg or two. What I don't understand is that why does he need to be taken down a peg or two? Because it's fine when it's Vardy. It's fine.
He's 5 seconds into the game, Stan. That's why. It's fine. He hasn't. He's got to prove himself. And as I say, he's a great player, great prospect. But
confidence.
He's coming. When you talk about Vardy, Vardy's been there for donkey's years. Maupay, who's everybody hates Maupay, but again he's been at that level not for 5 minutes. He's been there for seasons, or he was. He's gone now, hasn't he? But you know what I mean. So it's almost like you don't. If you go into a workplace, you don't suddenly give it large straight away. And I just think there's that. I mean, as I say, he's the one player who it's his. He's confrontational. He's arrogant, and
I'm pretty sure
we'll see if he comes up against the wrong player.
I'm pretty sure
who's having a bad day, who's had an argument with his missus before he's come to work. He'll get sorted.
I'm pretty sure Vardy and Maupay were doing it from day one. It's just part of the character, and I don't mind having. characters in football. But for someone like Jason Cundy to come out and say that he should get his leg snapped, I think that's a tad too far.
That's
No,
unnecessary.
but that could happen. Let's be honest, that could happen. And trust me, I've played in non-league level, and it happened in non-league level. You know, if player give it too much, and the opposition player actually say, "I'm going to break your leg, son," and he did.
I
Not my
do
leg;
think-
it was a teammate. You know, it
I do
happens.
think, as silly as it sounds, I think Jason Cundy said that for the real reason he said it. I don't really think he
Clicks.
thinks it. What I think he did, he said it so Stan hears it, and then Stan turns up on this, and then turns around and goes, Jason Cundy said this. So Jason Cundy's sitting there going, fucking fantastic, someone's talking about me for once, kind of thing. Because that's why he said it.
And it'll be
So he
clicks
repeated
on that.
He said
On
it.
that, yeah.
Simple as that. And like,
I mean,
I'm not-
who's the guy he's
that's
on
what
with?
is happening.
Jamie
Who's he
O'Hara.
on with? That's it. Those two together. I mean, they're just wind-up merchants, aren't they? They just say anything to get a, you know.
But I do think
Get
that
a
there's
rise.
a fine line between arrogance and confidence. But we'll see. I mean, I think that this is a young man that will be playing for England one day, and in a position that's needed at left back.
Possibly.
You know, it's a position that England could do with someone, and I just find it a little bit. I just find that sometimes there are certain parts of the media, they go a little bit too far. You know, it's so what if a player wants to go and buy his mother a house with his money? I think that's a thing that should be commended.
Absolutely.
So
Agree.
what if a player outside of football wants to spend his time making sure that kids get school meals? You know, and I don't like to play the race card, but I just find sometimes it's one rule for one rule for another, and sometimes it feels to me that we've got to keep these people down a little bit. You know, put them in their place and stay in their lane. And I just don't agree with that. You know, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, and yours were quite balanced, to be fair. But I do feel that there are certain sections of the media that should behave themselves a little bit better. I mean, it's no different to the grief that Saka got for missing a penalty, you know, and the millions of people that went online and, you know, just dropped monkey emojis. And I don't think it's because they think that they're cute little animals. You know, I think there's something else behind that. And in
No, that can't be condoned.
You know, in 2025, I'd like to think that we'd moved away from that, because as I say, at some point, you know, someone like Lewis Skelly and Waneri, they could be putting on the shirt for England, and we should be all behind them, shouldn't we? But I just wanted to mention that because it did grind my gears a little bit, and I hope I'm not upsetting any people. I don't like to play the race card, but I am someone of mixed race. My mother's Jamaican, my father's Scottish, and it did make me think that sometimes there are sections of the media that go in on certain players rather than other players. But I just wanted to mention that.
You must
Yeah,
have
I mean,
laid out.
Do you mean the Daily Fowl by any chance?
Say again?
Do you mean the Daily Fowl by any chance? As
Perhaps.
it's known locally. And by perhaps, that's where I saw the things you're alluding to. So
Yeah, I don't read
saw
the
them
paper, so I
personally,
wouldn't
but-
know.
Stan, you must have had a great time going into your parents' liquor cabinet. One being Jamaican, another one being Scottish.
Oh yeah, for sure. There was a lot of whiskey and a lot of other stuff, and I was constantly topping up with water.
And speaking of keeping people down, should we bring this guy in, or should we just keep him down?
It depends how he smells.
I smell brilliant. So thank you there, Tom. Stan, how you doing, bro? I ain't seen you, man. I hope you're doing well. And David, good to see you, I think. How you doing, bud?
How you doing, Lance?
All good, bud. All good.
I hate your club.
I know you do, bud.
I hate your club. It costs me money.
I know.
So Lawrence, tell me what's going on with your club this week?
Right now, like I said, coming off that Chelsea game, the match and stuff like that, I think for how many injuries that we had and stuff like that, I thought we played well. I really do. I think the ref screwed us on one play where Bowen could have got a foul against them. But overall, I thought it was good. We were missing a lot of players. And Potter, to me, and I wasn't sure about him, I really like his I think he's a good manager, man, a good coach, and I'm liking what he's doing with the players. It seems like they're buying in. So if we can get healthy, my goal is to get around 10 to 12, and I'm realistic, right? I really am. So if we could do that, coming back, I'd be happy. So, but go with it.
Hang on. So wait, you said you're realistic, but you sign off every episode with Champions of Europe.
Because we are champions of Europe. Let's start towards the end. See, we don't need a banter yet. See,
You started off with saying that's patently a lie, but so I thought we
are champions of Europe, baby. We got the trophy.
That's all right. Leeds are Champions League winners then.
Not yet. Come on, don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
No, we won it in 1974 by your logic.
Well, 74, I was 4 years old, and you weren't even a thought in your dad's pants yet. So
we've already established in 1969 I wasn't even in my dad's testicles.
That's right. Exactly.
We established this earlier on in the show, sir. But
no, seriously,
have you met Stan before? Apologies.
Yeah, Stan, we've been on a couple times. Yeah, good guy.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't follow you all around the internet to know if you've all met each other. Come on now.
We met here, right here.
Yeah, that's right.
Right
exactly.
here.
On these,
I was here too.
Yeah,
that's mental.
You might have been choking. You might have been choking your goose. I don't know what you were doing, but me and Stan were talking.
I almost certainly was.
Yeah,
almost certainly was. Twice probably, because it only takes 30 seconds anyway. Sorry, what?
On that note, are we going to go to our bio break and then break into betting in the
John,
dark?
I just got here. I don't have to even go to bio break, but yes.
John, call it right now.
John's going to cut me up.
Lawrence, start to say something so I look cooler when we cut you off.
It's been good, Lawrence.
I'd never cut Lawrence off. Don't worry.
John and I
have you got
friends.
your numbers? Have you got all your scores lined up, Lawrence?
Now it depends what you're picking, but we did this. What I had was, and we can go at the bio break. I did some FA Cups, and it starts with Leeds and goes down the Leeds match and all that. So I had those. So what did you have, Tom? Whatever you want,
In my opinion, you go say Leeds last because that will depend on whether you get to stay in the show. So.
Well, I gave a positive on Leeds, so but no, it's your show. I'll tell you what I picked.
No, of course. So
because you are a legend.
If you would not mind, I'd like to go to a bio break, as I believe it is called on Lolo's show.
I'm just here trying to.
We'll see you in about 3 minutes or whenever. I smell a murder gun.
Murderers, robbers, rapists, dealers, pedophiles.
Welcome to the revolution!
Justice isn't commerce.
Stop it! Just stop it!
Who the hell is without a helper, and what does she have to do with my sister?
Do I look like I need a psychological evaluation?
That's not the issue. The issue is why you didn't tell me.
I recommend that he be given a psychological evaluation before taking over his next assignment.
Just like old Tom.
You goddamn son of a bitch!
Look me in the eyes. May I have a little kiss before you go? I'm very lonely here.
Oh, you're being lied to. I don't like secrets. I could report you to the authorities, have your goddamn license suspended.
Smoking cigars now. And I thought he was perfect.
Would you give your life to save the world if nobody knew you did it?
Boy, you're a cocky one.
You got a great point there. And a sign that says, "No snakes allowed."
We're past all that. No more games.
Not allowed. The reason I'm still alive is because I wear an invisible helmet. You can't see it, but it's always there.
Love that murder gun.
You can't beat of Gary Busey and Nick Nolte.
Pure Busey. Oh, it's fantastic. Do you know he got paid to be in Under Siege 2, despite the fact that his character was killed in Under Siege 1? Genuinely true story.
Was he in Under Siege 2?
Made the film and still wrote him to be in it.
I've not seen Under Siege 2, I don't think.
It's not bad.
I think I saw it.
Perfectly serviceable. If you like Steven Seagal, that is. If you don't waste your time. But yeah, so gentlemen, it seems we've reconvened for part 2 of the show. So snakes hate Gary Busey. No one hates Gary Busey. Even when Gary Busey was in the Big Brother house and was so senile that he forgot to put on his pants and then started walking around the garden with his arsehole hanging out and he just saw what he had for dinner. He was hard to hate Gary Busey. It was genuinely hard to hate Gary Busey.
He knew what he was doing.
He won.
Yes, he did. I hope he did, but he was he's out there.
He was walking around with his arsehole out and he won Big Brother. It was Celebrity Big Brother. It was brilliant.
I watched The American Apprentice just because he was on one of the celebrity ones. I'd only watched it just because of Gary Busey, and he was very good at winding people up.
Oh, he does, yeah.
He ran up Meatloaf. I thought Meatloaf was going to kill him.
Oh.
I've just remembered the one reason that I'm always reluctant for Murder Gun is because it always turns into a discussion afterwards on Gary Busey or Steven Seagal or something. But I say reluctant is more for the audience because I'm still going to put them through it. Director John, are you in the background, sir? Like the omnipotent god of the Stoop?
I'm sure he is.
Reminds me of what's his name?
Odin of the Stoop.
He's eating a hot dog right now watching the ring.
You know, you've got to say the magic word, I think. Tom,
is
7.
Are we ready?
7.
For betting in the dark?
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
Welcome to this FA Cup very much out on limb edition. Literally, because I advise you to take this with the biggest pinch of salt possible. And you'll know why. Oh, look how many numbers are appearing on screen.
7. That may or had something to do with Nottingham Forest's result last Saturday. Whatever. They have something, wasn't it?
Tom, did you know that FC Magdeburg are currently third in the second Bundesliga 2 of 20 games, despite not winning a single home game? I do, because you tell me every fucking week, Sam.
It was a little late.
No,
there, sure.
I don't mean to be really CUNTY about it. I do appreciate the stat, because it is absurd. And I believe Sam did also earlier suggest that team also has their top of the away league, because you'd have to be top of that league without actually winning the home game. Incredible. I may have said that number, Rosie. If you would not mind, Director John, sponsored by Murder Gun, which I've heard is a good movie, but I've never seen the trailer for it.
It's Oscar nominated, so it's got to be good.
Oh, of course.
Well, you say that. I watched the movie The Brutalist today, and the most brutal part of it was the fact that I watched it, and it lasted 3 hours. That movie lasted 215 minutes.
What? That is too long, dude.
It was so long they actually had a intermission halfway through. Incredible.
I feel a bit stupid now. I've just Googled Murder Gun to see if it was a real film. I'm like, why have I not seen this?
Oh my god, this is a funny one here. You're right there, dude.
Did anything actually come up?
We do this every week.
No, it just told me about a firearm. Like murder guns are a firearm that hurt people.
all of a sudden with the stand, he went to Pornhub.
Did it actually come up? I bet you wish you went incognito mode when you type this. Anyway, so obviously I've gone with Leyton Orient to win 2-1 with their new permanent signing, Sonny Perkins, scored first, and it may or may not be coincidental because they bought him off Leeds, and Omar Marmoush to score at some point in the game, and it will net you an obscene amount of money.
I want to predict this because Sonny Perkins is my guy. I liked him when he was started at West Ham. That I did predict 3-1 Man City, but Sonny Perkins will score. So remember that. Put it in your back in your safe there, Tom, and let's see if I come out right with that.
Okay, it's there. It's there.
Good.
Does anyone give anyone any chance of a result happening that isn't Man City winning comfortably?
Negative.
No.
No, unfortunately.
In short.
Leyton Orient's form's been really good, though, to be fair to them. Not that it actually counts one iota against this team, but still. They could have won every single game in League One, and the correct bet is still to go Man City to win 4-0.
Yeah, and I saw different ones. I went 3-1 Man City because I wanted Sam Perkins to score, Sammy to score a goal.
Isn't it a great name for a football club, Leyton Orient?
It sounds like it reminds me of China.
Exactly. It's fantastic. I've actually been to the ground as well many years ago.
Is it nice?
What a great name for a club, Leyton
In
Orient.
1995, I as a 10-year-old, went to Leyton Orient on their pre-season. I don't know if they still do this sort of thing, but a pre-season open day where you can meet all the players. Like you go out on the pitch, and obviously that players are having a kick around, stuff like that. And you meet basically so kids could get autographs. But I was so serious that one of them looked like former West Ham player Tony Cottee.
Okay.
That I insisted he was Tony Cottee for some reason, to the point where he actually signed a piece of paper that his name was Tony Cottee.
Freddie, that's nice. That's nice. Let's get a photo of him.
At least he didn't.
I didn't realise till I got home because I had loads of signatures, and then I'm reading them. I'm like, oh, he actually did sign. He was Tony Cottee. His name was probably Dave. I have no idea in hindsight who the fuck it was, but still.
That's
The best football documentary I've ever seen is a Leyton Orient one. Leyton Orient sold
is that right?
Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's they allowed some lad to film them from behind the scenes for one season. And it turned into this. John Sitton was the manager, and he must have seen the clip of John Sitton having a go at his team at half time.
He fires the players at half time.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I've seen that one.
So I really didn't mean to cut in on your story, Stan. It just got me excited because I knew what you were talking about.
He's having a go at half time, right? And he says to one of them, "And don't be coming back at me in the match when I'm telling you to do stuff. Otherwise, you can be following down. You'll be following Terry down the road. Terry, come and see me in the morning and get your papers."
Wow.
He then adds on, and I very vividly remember him adding on, "You can pair up if you like and bring your Sunday dinner." I don't know why I remember it, but it's fantastic.
You both can pair up if you want, and you can bring your dinner because you'll bloody need it when I'm finished with you. I'm like,
damn. I got to hear this. I got to see that.
It's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure
back
it's
in
on
the
YouTube.
day when managers were managers.
Check it out. Yeah, exactly. When they didn't have to worry about stuff, they just were themselves. And
I think he's a cab driver now.
You don't have to be politically correct and all that. Yeah,
Probably.
Amazing.
Hey. But he probably feels good. He was. I like.
Just
I like
the information you all learned for sitting for this silly bet. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, that was worth it.
Is Barry Hearn still the owner at Orient?
I think he is. But I'll have a quick look, obviously. It's not like I'm live on it now or anything, but it's all right, David. They'll wait for me.
Yeah, they can wait.
They'll wait for me to find out who owns Leyton Orient.
We need to know these things.
The chairman is now Nigel Travis. So no, he's just sold up apparently.
He must have sold up then.
They couldn't afford milk for their tea, and then had a problem where the coach company wouldn't pick them up to take them to away games until they were paid. So John said,
"What the heck? This is crazy."
His own pocket and get a mate to take everybody on away games. It's brilliant. It's a really good documentary if you can find it.
I gotta find it. I have to find it.
Get some popcorn, grab a beer, and you'll be chuckling all the way through.
I gotta check that out. I have to check that out.
Proper football documentary. Not like the sanitized ones you get now, where obviously, obviously now you only see what the club will let you see.
100%.
Leighton Orient are begging Channel 4 to turn up to actually record them. So basically, Channel 4's deciding what gets put in.
A manager with someone called Chris Turner at the time. There were two of them who were managing. He finished John Sitton's career. You know, because he got to the stage where they said, well, you know, parents don't want their kids to come here and be, you know, apprentices in case, you know, because they're scared of you. And he had to leave the club. He couldn't get any more. He had all his coaching badges. He couldn't get a job in football. And he's a cab driver.
Director John, if you would not mind, go on to the next one. This one is a bit less silly, in my opinion, because Birmingham are currently leading League One. The first goal scorer, they paid, I believe, I might not have the exact numbers, but they paid £19 million for Jay Stansfield. Birmingham in League One paid for Jay Stansfield £19 million.
19?
It was a silly amount. It was an absurd amount of money. You know what? I'll double check it again. But yeah,
I didn't think it was that much.
Record.
I know it's a lot.
That's a lot.
It was a lot of money, but I don't know if it was 19.
You know,
that's a lot for them.
I'll go to Wikipedia because the internet's always right.
And was it 9?
And then
sorry. 15 million rising to 20, rising to 20 with incentives.
Wow.
Really? Okay. Wikipedia. I can change it after this and make it to 10.
I'm just pleased I didn't come off looking like a moron with it. But
you never come off like a moron.
Oh, that's the kindest thing you've ever said to me. So I'll keep that in mind for next time you roast me. But no, in all seriousness, I've gone with Jacob Murphy to score because he feels like he's scoring. I heard that's good, Stan. But I genuinely think of the upsets this weekend, I think Birmingham City could nab one.
Are you thinking that because Newcastle is just not going to play their players, or you're just out for that outlandish thing that you do every week?
A little bit of both, but I think this is one.
I'm learning you, Tom. Tom, I can't believe that we're on the same level now after all these months. Okay.
I can't see this one, Tom, I have to say, because I think Newcastle are on a bit of a high at the moment, and they'll be going for this as another trophy they could maybe win. You know what I mean?
David, I can't believe I want to agree with you on this one. We're on the same line. I'm the same way.
In that case, it's definitely Birmingham winning. I can't be agreeing with Lawrence.
Purely so Lawrence could say, Stan, we're on the same level.
Well, me and Stan get along quite well. Dave and I are suspect, and you are definitely sometimes suspect. But I can tell you, I agree. There's going to be certain clubs that are like, if they don't think they can get like the Prem, the top like that, they're going to go for that. They're going to start going for the cup. I think Bournemouth is going to be another one that's going to try to do that, and people are underestimating them. And different. And I agree. I think Bournemouth is another one. They're going to do a different. Newcastle, it could be something they can go for. They're going to shoot for a top 6 or at least European thing, but this is where they can get a trophy.
Well, I did sort of say to Stan to say something to sort of then do a joke about Lawrence, but obviously I did that, so I don't want to then take that away from Stan. So, Stan, have you got anything to say, please?
I don't think Birmingham are going to do Newcastle. Even if Newcastle, they'll have all their good players on the bench, and if there's any problems, they'll just bring Isak on for 10 minutes. He'll probably score 2 goals, and then they'll sub him off again.
Yeah, agree.
That's reasonable.
Isak is he's quality.
And Anthony Gordon as well. A lot of the players.
No, they do. I agree. Gordon sometimes more, inconsistent sometimes, or he might be getting the ball's not fed to him. but Isaac is
Yeah, what?
definitely.
He is so quick. Gordon.
He is.
Jesus
I like him.
Christ.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
me too.
I like him.
I mean, he's got the sort of face you want to slap, but
yeah.
but boy, can he move.
He's got the freaking 1970s Beatles cut sometimes, where he's got it all down there. But I can dig with that. But I like him. But sometimes I look for him and he doesn't show up all the time. I guess it's a good question.
I've warmed to him. I prefer him now that he's a Newcastle player. When he was for Everton, no, I didn't like him at all.
No, hell no. No, I hear you there. I hear you. Especially now that Moyes is with Everton, I hate him even worse. I'm
sorry, Lawrence. No, sorry, Lawrence.
Tom, I don't want to take your show, but continue.
Oh, sure. If you wouldn't mind, John, can we go into the third and the final? Well, not the final, that's a lie.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I went full upset this week. Because wait till you see what... Let's play a game. Everyone knows that basically the end of this, whatever I've picked, we go that one to win, that one to win the treble. What do you think the three that I've picked to win pays out for £1? Just as a guess.
£1. Oh, with exactly the same things, or just 3 wins?
3 wins, no correct scores. That'd be astronomical. Plus, never happen. It never happens as it is, let alone the scores.
I think Plymouth probably have a chance now they haven't got Wayne Rooney giving them tactics.
That was my theory when picking this, because they won last week. I believe it was against not last week. It was either the week before, whatever it was. They beat West Brom at home, and I thought they might then get into, because if they don't win their home games, they don't get anywhere ever. So basically, I think they're going to make it a hard time for Liverpool. I say that Liverpool probably going to win 4-0, but.
Damn! Tom, I just want you to see it. You can see it 4-0. I don't know. There you go. Liverpool.
They beat West Brom 2-1, Tom.
Yes, sir.
And my prediction is, if out of anything, I believe that because Nunez will play because they're not going to, and he comes off the bench, he will get 2 goals in this match. Nunez, 2 goals. Out of anything, remember that and say Larry knew what he's talking about.
I mean, that sounds realistic and all, but then that doesn't end with me being able to brag that I've got something right. So
true, that's true. But I feel good.
Yeah, West Brom.
It's about me.
They beat West Brom, and let's face it, there's not a lot of difference between West Brom and Liverpool, really, is there?
It's a massive win. It's a massive win.
Has anybody predicted what the payout would be if all 3 win?
Yeah, I didn't know what
it's going to be massive, isn't it?
You start talking pounds, I need dollars. I don't know what the hell.
I could probably pay off my mortgage.
Conversion rate, to be fair to him.
Oh, he does.
Could I pay off my mortgage?
Oh, my bad.
Director John, if you would not mind to answer this question by doing the magic thing for the magic 3. Absurd amounts of money we're talking.
Ooh, that's good money. Yeah.
I mean, it's great money until the Leyton Orient match kicks off, and then it loses.
That's right. It's like Lolo.
And then after 3 minutes, when Mamouche or whoever scores, Scott Carson will probably score in that game.
You just know what's going to happen if you put some money on it. You know what's going to happen. The first 2 are going to come in. The first 2 are going to come in, and then in injury time on the last game, Liverpool are going to get an equaliser and win in extra time, aren't they? You just know it.
You think all these bets are really stupid, but I mean, this one is really stupid, admittedly. But this time last week, I suggested this magic 3.
No, I remember you were going. Oh, nice nugget there. But yeah, you're right. You were doing well.
I was right. I was right until your team had to step up for everyone else.
Our ref screwed us. We should have. Yeah, you're right though. We should have won that game outright against Chelsea. I'm just telling you right now. Don't want to get into it unless we want to.
Well, even Wolves won for it.
Wolves was shocking that you got that one. I couldn't believe that. Wolves has stepped.
I sat here with confidence. I'm not going to talk like a gangster and be like, but I'll be like, I said with chest, as they say on the streets, with chest, bro.
On the
chest
street.
blood.
He's on the street.
Yeah, I'm getting proper gangster. I was like, yeah, blood. Wolves are gonna kill Villa. Wolves are gonna slap Villa up.
We did.
And Deborah and Zebra, if you're still there, what did Wolves do? They slapped Villa up. And then Arsenal went and slapped Man City up.
Tom, Tom, you talking gangster at the buffet line or what?
Oh my God, my favourite thing at the buffet
I want
line
more chicken wings
ever
on this
happened
goddamn line, right?
is when I saw. I mean, Gary was like, "Where is my stir fry?" I was like, "I saw the whole thing, Gary. I saw someone walk over to your stir fry, and I saw someone nick it and walk away. I see the entire thing. It was the funniest thing I've seen in my life. It was second only to it's the second funniest thing I've seen in my life, because first is the moment I told Gary exactly what happened. That was the funniest thing I've actually seen in my life, because there's a mirror next to it, so I actually got to watch myself do it. But he was like, why didn't you say anything? I was like, well, because it's a buffet, Gary. You can literally just get a plate, put the same amount of things on the plate, and get them to re-fucking do it, and then fucking watch it this time. So it doesn't happen again.
Like,
and everyone thinks I'm the villain in the situation.
Yeah, it can be sometimes.
Got to pay attention at the buffet.
Oh, 100%. You got to know when it comes on fresh, or, hey, wait till you bring a new platter out. Don't get the stuff been there too long.
Yeah.
He's in the East London buffet, and he's just leaving his plate around willy-nilly.
It's Tom, it's a universal thing. It's just got to be strategized. You got to know when it's fresh, when it's not, when they're bringing out the new plates. Be patient, get the right stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I can walk off at a buffet purely because I'm basically like, cook that steak well done, and I'll be back in 6 minutes. And it's easy, because no one's going to nick that steak. People are going to look at that thing. No one's taking that away. In fact, they'll pay to see me eat it, sort of thing, which I will, because I'm fat. But anyway, sorry, just getting a bit excitable here. Sorry.
No, that's good. That was good. That's good.
It's making me hungry again. Sorry, I'm slapping my belly like I'm a walrus. Anyway, sorry. What? Yeah. So yeah, that's the betting in the dark.
Very good.
What's going on in football this weekend, John?
Oh, that's next week, John. Yeah, 14th.
That's their next games. I don't know what else you guys want to talk about.
No, it's good, John. That's calendar week 25. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the?
This is one of them things where John sent me the fixtures, and then I've not actually then said it's the FA Cup this weekend, John, because I'm an idiot.
This is still good. We have one more match for calendar week 24 as part of the fantasy. John knows that because he's got Salah as his next guy on there, and I have Slot as my manager. I did use the token, by the way. What is that, John? Is that Tuesday or Wednesday? The Everton Liverpool?
Wednesday the 18th, I think. Something. It's like way off.
Yeah, it's like I thought actually I got confused. I thought it was actually this Wednesday, but they moved it to the 12th. So the 12th is like the last. Yeah, it's the last. It's the last part of calendar because they're catching up. You guys remember they had to delay that game about a month or two ago. I forgot what it was for though.
This is totally my fault.
Oh, wait.
Oh, Jesus.
Where is...
There's proper football.
Yeah.
Proper football. What? Oh, the Prem. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Who is Liverpool's game in hand against? Oh, because Everton game got snowed off, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Everton has got 9 points now under Moyes. 3 straight wins. Is that some crazy shit?
All right, well, Lawrence, I'm going to do the next best thing because obviously let's just say I did not correct John on the fixtures. So if you could hold up your fixtures so we can then see who else is playing this weekend.
Well, the problem is I had it like kind of I don't have the different teams. I already predicted who I have. I have 3-0 Leeds with 5 penalties, 10 goals, and 10 shots on target. That's kind of how I have buddies, and we play this different match. We have Man City, and I got them winning 3-1. Ipswich plays, I got them 2-1. Bournemouth, and that's a team again, David, like we talked about. I believe these are the type of teams that are playing real well. They're probably not. They're not going to maybe be a top 4 team, maybe, but this is where they have a chance. They have quality enough to go for the cup, and that's what I thought. Like Bournemouth's one of them. I have Burnley winning 2-1 against. I think it's Southampton or something like that.
Was you going to say Southampton?
Wait a minute, Lawrence. Can I just stop you there?
Yes, sir.
You've got Burnley conceding a goal and scoring 2.
And that's tough because they have not gotten many scores. How many games they've been goalless?
They've conceded 9 goals in 31 games.
Yeah, the last 9.
Ridiculous.
They're like 0. But yes, you heard it here first. This is not a ridiculous time. It's Larry. It's going to show you. So mark this down there, David, and you can cuss me out.
I'm going
make fun of me on the chat.
I wouldn't make fun of you, Lawrence.
No, you never make fun
I respect you too much.
Yeah, exactly. Burnley 2, and they're going to give up 1 goal. You heard it here first from the American from Kentucky. Then I got Fulham winning 3-1.
What are you drinking, Stan?
What about Stoke and Cardiff?
Oh, nice, Pajot. Oh, nice, Stan. You had that before. That's his drink. That's his beer. Then I got Newcastle
IPAs, but I've been getting into these Peronis. They're really nice and good.
It's straight from Italy.
It's Italian beer. Yep.
Straight from Italy. Stan, I knew I liked you.
Yeah. Nice
First,
Peroni.
Right as soon as I got my Italian citizenship, I got my passport, went straight to an Italian restaurant in Manhattan, had a Peroni.
I like Peronis. Peronis are quality for sure.
I've never drunk it.
Yeah, it's nice.
You're sucking down 2 liters of Pepsi. That's why. But I got 3-1 Fulham.
That's quick.
Then I got 3-1 Newcastle. I got Chelsea 2-0. I got Liverpool 4-0. I got Villa winning 2-1. And then I got 0-3 Forest, because I think Forest is another team that I believe they can be in the top 6. But I consider a Forest and Bournemouth reminds me of a West Ham a couple years ago, where they're on target. They can do something, and this is a time that these guys got to go for the cup, get a trophy, something that Arsenal don't know nothing about. Sorry, Lolo's not here, but so because they have quality. I mean, we have some teams that are in the top 6 in the Prem that are playing quality ball. Bournemouth's one of them. Forest. Look what Forest did when they were embarrassed by Bournemouth, and they came back and kicked some ass. So I'm proud of them.
Sorry, they did what? I love that number.
But that's what I had, Tom. And you asked for it. I wasn't trying to talk, but you told me.
I did, but you said load of names, and I'm sitting there like, that's cool. Who are they? I'm thinking, who are they playing against?
I watched David. He was looking at all. He knew what I was talking about.
I'm with you.
My apologies. I didn't have the other team written down.
Okay. It's my fault for not having the fixture list on my electronic device, so I'll give you that.
I should have wrote it down.
100% my fault.
I just put down who I predict to win.
Today's my day off. Give me a break.
Tom, you're doing a good
one
job.
day where I'm not doing YouTubing. I don't know why I said that. So, guys, my mind's gone blank. So basically, I'm going to leave it up to someone to say something. Actually, tell lie. People, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Eagles.
No, the other ones. Kentucky.
Oh, I like the
Kentucky Chiefs.
No, Chiefs. You know what? Everybody in the United States, besides if you live in Kansas City, wants the Eagles. Now, I'm a Ravens fan.
Kansas. That's it. I knew it began with a K. Shows how much.
I'll say.
I'll try to be cool. Stan,
I'll try to be cool. I'm in Kentucky, and we ain't got a pro team. But I'm from Baltimore, so I'm the Ravens, and they didn't make it. So, but I hate Kansas City Chiefs because they win too much. So,
how you doing, Mr. Powers?
I'm going for the Eagles.
Look,
there's that movement. It's like an eagle.
That'll be their 3rd time in a row, and no one's ever done that. Is that right?
That's correct, Stan. And I don't want it because they're I'm not a big fan.
They're not very popular, but
Not with me.
I imagine that is that partly. It's not really about the football, is it?
A little bit of both, you know, because they showmans, you know, Taylor Swift's all there with Kelsey and all this different stuff. But I mean, I hate them because I ain't them. You ever heard that thing? Because, you know, you want to be part of it. If it was my team, I'd be all happy about it. But, you know.
I've never heard of that because I am them. So.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. I've no idea who Leeds are playing this weekend, Mr. Powers. I have no idea. I forgot.
Oh, what is there? Who is that, David? Who's the Leeds guy in that one match?
Oh, I think we maybe have got Millwall tomorrow in the.
Yes, Millwall. Cup. You got Millwall, and I got them going. I have
the best director in the business, the absolute best. He's even covered for me being a lazy fuck.
David had it on there too. It was just a follow along because I could tell he's shaking, so he knew what I was talking about. So. Yeah,
but I need you to treat me like
I don't care about the FA Cup. I'm just worrying about Leeds' remaining schedule, and that's what this is. Leeds' remaining schedule.
Hey, John, do you remember that picture I just sent you of a Leeds fan taking a dump? Did you see that?
Oh, who's that, Banford?
Yeah. I was a read copy.
But he injured himself doing it, John.
Yeah, so he hurt himself. That was a read copy.
Patrick Bamford once injured his hamstring when he was answering the phone.
Oh, jeez.
Just what I heard. Anyway.
Wait, I have to agree with BX on this one.
Philly fans are upset.
It's like I hate Kansas City now, but I also hate the Eagles. So it's kind of like you just want the midfield to open up and everybody to fall into it.
John,
close itself up.
100%. But right at this point right now, for me, I'm going to go with the Eagles because I don't want to see Kansas City win the game. So I totally understand what BX Gunner's saying, but golly, man, I don't want to see.
Stan, got a quick question. Will you be watching any football this weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, my missus has got me. The missus knows that there's no Arsenal games, and I think she's got a few chores. A few shelves to put up and whatnot.
Ain't that so funny, Stan? The same thing. Like, my wife wants to do this, but she knows she'll actually look at the schedule West Ham before I do. And a lot of times our stuff is like on a Saturday or Sunday morning, mid-afternoon. So she'll like, oh, no, West Ham's not playing this time. So they'll actually – she knows ahead of time now because she knows. And I'll have season tickets to Kentucky University, the University of Kentucky, that I will not go to a game if West Ham's playing. I'm like, negative. It ain't happening. Just give my tickets away because so she'll know. It's hilarious.
Funny, Lawrence. I'm going to London on Thursday.
Awesome.
En route to visit my mum who lives in Cyprus. So I stop up my mates, go to Cyprus, and then we come back to London. And I turned down tickets for Arsenal West Ham. Turned it down.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You turned it down?
Yeah, I'm just so pissed off with the officiating and all that. I just thought, you know what?
I ain't hating you on that.
Catch up with some people that I've not seen in a long time because I'm not there very often. And spending £100 or whatever it is to go and see the game. I'll watch it in a pub or watch it at my mates or something like that. But I was almost going to go. But I'm so pissed off with football at the moment. I'm just like, nah.
But you know what, Stan? That's a valid point. But I can tell you one thing, though, is as I've gotten older, I enjoy watching sometimes being at the house on the TV instead of going with all the crowds where people are not respecting of each other and stuff like that. And it's the whole thing. Not about my dream, my bucket list is, because I'm still in the U.S., as you know, is to go to and see a West Ham match. And I will do that before I die. But I'll go there. But the thing is, just like general sports in the United States and stuff like that, I don't even want to go there. People they're rude. They're not, it's about respect. And some people are like, they're either on their phone and they don't have any kind of regard to other people. And that really kind of disappoints me and angers me sometimes. It's like, I ain't got time for that shit. You know what I mean? I'd rather, if I could sit home on my couch, on my TV, watch that, and then chatting back and forth with my buddies, I'm probably going to have a better time than to go to the match. Now, again, Prem or English soccer since I've got involved with it is such a great thing. I want to be in an atmosphere where I could sit there and chant my team's song with the rest of the fans. So that is a bucket list for me. And see, John, it's got to be a jackass and put an X across of it. But
well, you called it soccer, so I got to do that.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry, football. No, that's correct. I didn't mean to say that, and I haven't said that in a while. That's crazy. I did say that.
I wanted to ask you, Lawrence, as well, very quickly, if that's okay. How are you feeling with your new manager? Because you've got a new manager now. What's your thoughts on that situation? Are you happy?
I'm happy with Potter. How he articulates to the fans, his press conference, how he understands he's playing the players in the proper position. You just can tell. He knows how to work a room, Potter. He really does. When his press conferences and stuff like that, he knows how to do it. Lopetegui could not do that. And the language barrier, whatever, was just he couldn't do it. And the guys there. So I'm all Potter in. And now we're at the point at West Ham, and I said this before, let's stick with this guy for a while now. Because we keep moving managers, we have to hold the players. Oh, geez. Who shows up?
Yo, what's up, fellas?
Hello.
I'm trying to work right now, but I wanted to say hi. Thank you guys for taking over the stream tonight. This is where we're working.
Working the room.
There goes proof. I've never had him killed.
What are you, waiting tables?
No, I am running this entire show. There you go, I'll say. And I'm the one who does the God mic and everything. I got my own microphone. We got Mr. Mark working the camera.
Get up strong.
What's up, boyos?
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
It's good to see you, Sam the Man. It's been a while. Are you off a hiatus?
Yeah, but I'm off to London on Thursday, so I'll be absent again. What are you doing there?
I'm in Florida on a gig, and I brought Mark with me. All right, but I got to get back to work. We're only in a little 2-minute break, but much love to you guys. The good thing is none of our teams will lose this weekend, right? Oh wait, Leeds play this weekend. Exactly. None of our teams will lose.
Leeds are the only team that are playing.
None of our teams will lose. That's me saying Leeds are going to win. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And big up to everybody in the chat. I can't see the chat, but love you guys.
See you later, mate.
Well, don't let him bullshit you. Him and Mark are on their honeymoon.
Yeah.
No,
you were meant to be the maid of honor, John.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but don't let them bullshit you. I'm working.
That's a very flashy shirt for a bingo caller.
That's right.
Or a waiter.
Okay. So Lolo's obviously checking up that I'm behaving on his channel. So it's not obvious.
So make sure we haven't got the channel cancelled.
That's right.
It's not the first time he's done that, but in all seriousness, it's obviously good to see him. Really.
Yeah, of course.
But Jenny did ask if they were a couple last week because Lolo kissed Mark on the cheek in their Xmas video.
You ain't seen all of it.
She's got a big wooden spoon out again. Stirring that pot.
Stirring the pot.
You'll have to go to Mark's OnlyFans page to see the rest of that.
Oh, gee, see, John will stir it up hard. Look at it. John don't give it.
And John's got a spoon as well when it's a massive pot and everyone's doing their thing.
Not that there's anything wrong with
that.
There's really not, George. I mean, John.
John is always trying to get customers to go along to Mark's page because John is his manager. He's on 15%.
100%. You got to do it.
It's 15% more than I get from doing this crap.
Exactly.
Shit, I do some reactions to get a couple hundreds. I don't get crap. Which I don't care. I enjoy doing. Like this stuff is fun, and I do the West Ham stuff where like reactions after the show, and I don't get. No, what I don't care because I just enjoy doing the stuff.
They're so funny. You are so funny, Lawrence.
Do you see that? You watch them, David?
It's only a minute, though.
They're only fun when you lose because you just go off on one.
He goes for it. Absolutely. He talks like he's been doing it for 70 years. He's like, hey guys, what the fuck happened today?
I don't curse.
It's also the words per minute.
Well,
Whoa,
David,
how many words?
Yeah.
Quicker than a speed typer.
Yeah.
But David, I think I explained it to you before. When they told me it's like you're on a short clip, so you have to get your point across in 60 seconds. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to. So you imagine if you follow
You have
a
about
game,
8 points.
huh?
You have about 8 points in that 60 seconds. You're meant to get 1 point across in 60 seconds. You get across like 56 of them.
What I try to do, and some people like it, which obviously you might not like it, but I'm trying to tell the story of the match for people who haven't watched it at the same time, give my opinion at the same time. And doing both of those things are very difficult. Now they said to me, Larry, they like you, so now you got 2 minutes. So now, but I try to do it. But you know what? All that stuff aside, I'm not the best at it. I'm new to West Ham fans since 2019. And I like doing it. So
it's okay. You carry on doing it, mate.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'll tell you what,
me.
it gives me a chuckle. I put it on loop.
Yep. You just call and you could be someone that say, Larry, or you can sort of say, you're a freaking idiot. No, it don't bother me because I'm having fun. And that's why it's Jake. He's the young kid that's in charge of the channel since 15, but his dad does a lot. Great guy. Richard Cox, awesome guy. Takes care of his son, promotes all that. And then I get stick sometimes. And sometimes you're like, what the heck? And all this. Like, what the hell? You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I mean, that is true. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. But at the same time, doesn't mean you shouldn't say it.
And I do talk fast. But I talk fast sometimes normally. So it don't matter.
That's not PG, Ian.
What did she say? She talking some smack?
Where did that come out of? Fucking, I'm trying to Ian, and then you're like, "What's she say?" She's talking some smack, like he's getting ready, to administer some justice or something.
No,
like
I saw.
But fucking hell. Well, you've popped up again in the corner of the thing. Not in your corner of your own ass. Why would you pop up in the corner of your own ass?
John's doing that because John, that's his stuff. John likes it. He loves that picture of me, like my eyes bulging out, which is pretty cool.
Anyway, we do seem to be getting the prompt from John that it's nearly home time.
Indeed.
Or nearly bedtime, depending on your point of view. Not there's anything wrong with that, obviously, as John would say. So I do want to thank you all for giving your time this evening. So it's not just me sitting here, basically, where I just read out the chat. That's what would happen. So other than that, thank you to David.
You still got 8 minutes.
Yeah, but it's going to take me 8 minutes to thank everyone.
Yeah, your sign-offs are like 15 minutes.
There you go. So we'll still be doing this. We'll still be doing this at bloody 10 minutes past 2 in the morning, and I'll still be talking to you about it.
Hey, John, when he talks too long, it's like the Grammys. You got to put some music on, so it kind of time for
you talking about people talking too long, you cheeky motherfucker. Sorry, you got a phone call here. Oh, wait a minute, it's the pot. It's telling me the kettle says you're black. What are you talking about, sir? Motherfucker. Can't believe it.
You cursed at me. Okay.
Incredible. But yeah, again, thanks, David.
My pleasure,
start
Tom.
again, John.
It's my
Punish you
pleasure.
all. You'll start again. I'm going to start from the beginning. David, your performance tonight was excellent. Your performance tonight was excellent on the show tonight. Stan, when you appeared, it was like a light in my life that I'd never experienced before. I was genuinely thrilled.
Yeah, right. But anyway, seriously, it's good to be back. Good to speak to you all. Always fun as usual.
Stay. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Cheers.
And Lawrence, your performance when you appeared, it was all right, wasn't it? It was okay. It was all right. You've had worse.
There's John.
But no, in all seriousness, it was really fun. John, do you still need me to filibuster a bit more? Any big predictions for the weekend? Anything you want to say, David? Please, anything. Take us through to 2 o'clock.
We'll win.
Between
We'll
the three
win.
of you.
That's it. We're gonna win. We're gonna win the cup. It's in the stars.
Whoa.
Stan, any predictions for the weekend?
Yeah, I'm predicting that I'll probably on Sunday be spread eagled on the sofa, drinking beer and watching American football with not a clue what is actually going on.
But no, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's good. And Stan, enjoy yourself.
Before I ask Lawrence, my favourite thing about the Super Bowl in British coverage is how they always treat it as if, like, it's the most watched American football game in the world, right? Obviously. But they'll still treat it as if everyone watching it in England has never fucking seen it before.
Yeah.
And again, I know there's a lot of people that haven't, but they'll explain the rules like you are 5 years old, which I suppose is a fair way to do it. But then isn't it a bit silly to then try and get people into it on the final game? Because then it's like, oh, I really like this NFL. When's the next game? Oh, you got to wait till September, son.
No, I agree, Tom. Especially now that there's so many games over there now, it's kind of they need to adjust that. So I don't know. Yeah, I agree.
It's like 2 billion people watch the Super Bowl, but only like 400,000 of them are going to come back in September to watch it. You know, it's like at least when the World Cup final happens and it's the biggest sporting event, there's a football match actually usually like a day later or a week later or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can actually catch all the people that did watch their first World Cup final kind of thing.
Get the reaction. Yeah.
I'd say it's just otherwise fault. Anyway, Lawrence, is there anything you're looking forward to this weekend?
West Ham's not playing, so no.
I was going to say West Ham not losing.
Oh, see, David, man, we were starting off so well today. We're not cussing each other out. We're not doing all that.
Couldn't keep it up, Lawrence.
You got to do what you got to do. And I actually was cheering. And you know what? I'm going to be a bigger man, much bigger man. But I still go for Leeds 3-0. And I'm cheering for Leeds because I do like Leeds.
I'll take that.
Even though I give you guys some stick.
I'm going to take this opportunity to award Lawrence with the Humanitarian of the Night award for basically lasting for the duration of when he entered the show to now, and he's still not referred to Leeds United as playing in the Junior League, which is actually a massive achievement for him because he usually says it in the first 18 seconds of being on there.
And I'm going to say one other thing that I should get another word for. I am hoping Leeds comes up to the Prem.
I mean, there's such a thing that there is such.
Well, see, arrogance. See what happens.
We will be there.
Stan, I'm talking to you, Stan, because I need to talk to a mature man. That I try to give them a compliment. Trying to talk polite to them, and they try to give me some sticks. You know what I mean? Try to be nice to people, and that's what happens.
He didn't even realize I muted him.
I did notice it, and John, it was a little irritating because I had some good comments there. So,
sorry,
Director John.
You had some good comments there.
Oh, so finally, after how many times have you been on the show?
There's a first time for everything.
What a coincidence that the one time he had good comment, he was being muted. What are the chances? What are the odds?
I love and hate you guys all at the same time.
He had 1 day left until retirement.
Yeah, but all good.
Before they get killed in the film, innit? Melina, Ian, Dylan, Sam, MRP. Who's MRP?
They're in the chat, I assume.
Jim, Jose, the panel. Take care.
Have Mr. POTUS, 5,000.
Sorry?
Mr. POTUS, 5,000.
That makes sense, actually. So, fair enough. My apologies. Again, thanks to everyone in the chat. Obviously, Gary was in earlier. Lolo made an appearance. Even Spawny Mark appeared in the chat. Deborah Zebra, Sam Greenwood. Pure Greenwood. It's 3 a.m. for him now. It's impressive. Have a good night, everyone.
Is
No,
have a
Hey.
good one.
do your sign off thing.
Have a good
Hey, and
weekend,
remember,
people.
West Ham are massive wherever you go. Come on, you Irons. European champions, baby.
But their fans' penises are not.
Come on, you Irons!